Wednesday night, and that means it's time for the Lamar Thomas Show, featuring the greatest receiver in the history of college football. Just ask them, Lamar Thomas.
I was born in Ocala, Florida. I moved to Gainesville to go to high school. Been recruited probably since the 9th grade, illegally, I might add, by the University of Florida. I still can remember Coach Solinger, Don Solinger, coming out to our practice one day. Here it is, this guy comes out in the University of Miami jacket, and I said, I can't believe that's Miami out here. And, you know, I wanted to go up and say, hey, I'm Lamar Thomas. And actually, I did walk up to him and I said, hey, Coach, I'm Lamar Thomas. And he said, I know. And that was the start of my relationship with the University of Miami.
Another good block, and Toretto lays it out. Touchdown, Miami.
You come down here, you'll be on TV every weekend, dominating. I thought about it. I said, man, where do I sign? My mom, on Saturday mornings, I would wake up and she'd be holding my hand. I thought she was the weirdest lady in the world. But she was holding my hands and she would be rubbing them and saying, one day these hands are gonna make you a lot of money. She was smart.
So now, here he is, the great one, along with co-host Gary Ferman of CaneSport.com, Lamar Thomas.
It's Wednesday night, Lamar.
Ooh-wee, Gary. It's Wednesday night, and most importantly, it's Louisville week. Let me do it. See, I'm doing it right. Let me go back to my old Florida ways. It's Louisville week. Louisville. They don't deserve me to say it right now, even though I coach there. We'll talk about.
I was going to say, you know, having coached there in the
Yes.
not too distant past makes this one a little bit more interesting for you, I would imagine. We got to get our body clocks aligned here because it's
Yes.
a Friday night game. I keep reminding myself, Friday night. You know, you get so programmed into Saturday, but Friday night, 7:00, Hard Rock Stadium. The Miami Hurricanes will take on the Louisville Cardinals. And I mean, I've been wanting to call this a big game since before the season. I mean, I had it circled on my calendar as one of the games of the season that, you know, sort of deserved some extra consideration. But man, the more I dive into this thing, I'm almost scared because it's like, you know, I look at the matchups of this game coming up and it just seems like they start favoring Miami a little bit. So we'll talk a little bit about that on tonight's show. But first, we got to welcome everybody back to a new week of the Lamar Thomas Show, presented by Caneswear, as always. And you're not going to see Lamar pulling shirts off the racks and stuff, right? He's in studio. But we do have Caneswear very well represented behind us, both myself and Lamar. And we'll show you a little bit of Caneswear later in the show to certainly give you a feel for what is the ultimate headquarters for University of Miami merchandise. And they literally have a little bit of everything there at Caneswear. There's no better place for you to go on your way to Hard Rock Stadium on Friday night. Got that one right. Then go to Caneswear on your way to the stadium. It's 15 minutes north of the stadium, and you can load up on some Canes gear, some decent food in the shopping plaza where they are, and kind of make a one stop before you head to the stadium, and you'll be all set. You'll be looking sharp in some new clothes. You'll have some good food to tailgate with, and no better way to get game day off and running in that regard. But LT, man, we got so much to talk about tonight. And man, let me start let's just take you back in time, okay? I mean, there's no better way to get this thing going tonight than to make you reminisce a little bit about Louisville. And you had some of your better moments as a coach at Louisville. I mean, you recruited Lamar Jackson. I mean, that'll be on your mantle forever. Whether you go coach again or don't go coach again or whatever you choose to do, you will always have on your mantle that you recruited one of the greatest quarterbacks of our time, a very unique guy in Lamar Jackson. And let me ask you, why is Louis? It just seems to me like, I look at the preseason basketball projection. Louisville very quickly now is back in the limelight in basketball and projected as one of the leading candidates to win the national title this year. The football program, from the days of Howard Schnellenberger, he got that stadium built, and they've continued to improve it. And, they've been able to maintain a quality football program. Why is Louisville? I've been there many times. I've been to the town many times. It's a town, no different than most other towns. I mean, why
Gary, hold on, man. I beg to differ.
In sports. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk.
I beg to differ. It is a city. It's not a town.
You're right.
Lexington is
I should have said city.
It's a city, and they are starving for sports. They love their sports because remember, you're the only show in town. So they put it all in on Louisville, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, volleyball, soccer, whatever it is. And, and for Florida kids, there are a lot of Florida kids that went to school there. You talked about Snellenberger, Coach Strong took it to another atmosphere, recruiting the Teddy Bridgewater and guys. And then, Coach Petrino continuing it on. And, Brom is continuing that tradition. I give a lot of thanks for that from the AD who made it possible. There were rumors that he helped change the flight schedules, that they would have straight through flights from South Florida to Louisville. And, they just love, there's a lot of guys still live there. It is, they love Florida in Louisville. And you see that, and we'll see on Saturday, there are going to be a lot of guys that are there that are from Florida in some type of way. And, they always are able to get good athletes because you think about it, they can get some linemen and stuff from Kentucky or whatever. They can get some guys from Ohio. They can get some people love coming to Louisville to go to school. So it's an easy recruit. I tell you, it's an easy recruit. I know it was back when I was recruiting. It was the easy sell. It's hard to sell Lexington, because guys are not going to go back to Lexington when their playing career is over. Once they graduate or whatever they do, they're not going back. They're not going back to live. Louisville's a place just like Miami where, Miami for sure, you're coming back and you're going to stay. Michael, talked about that last week. But it's a place where a lot of guys still go back and they root themselves there. And it's a nice place, man. It really is a nice place to, especially, again, going back to what I said earlier, they love their sports. They love their sports. And I got to show you this, Gary. This was first ACC game in school history. Lamar Thomas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 31-13 over the University of Miami. And again, I worked there and I pissed off some Miami fans because, hey, man, when you're working for somebody and they're paying your bills and they're paying you a lot of money, you got to throw out all that other stuff. My wife likes nice things. We had a child born there. So I did what I was supposed to do. My coach told me press send on this text message, and it was pretty evil. It was pretty evil. But at the time, I wasn't working for Al Golden. Okay, I was working for Louisville. So the text kind of went, would you rather play here? And it had probably Miami in a spring game. I don't know what it was, but it was the cupboard was bare. The seats there was a lot of orange in the seats. And it had Louisville when we had a big crowd, and we kind of used it in recruiting. But again, it's they've always, and this is what I saw, they've always looked up to the University of Miami. Even when I was there, those kids, a lot of them were upset that they didn't get an opportunity to go to the University of Miami. You know what I mean? Miami, for some reason, didn't recruit them. So they kind of fell back to a Louisville. And so, you could use that. And I'm sure Jeff Brom and some of those guys, they might even use that in the game. Hey, man, maybe you weren't good enough to go there, and use that as I know I did. Going into this game, I said, hey, man, obviously they didn't think you were good enough. So why don't you go out and show them tonight?
So what was that like? Bobby Petrino telling you to send a text that you know is going to upset people that mean a lot to you. Being in that position, like what was that like?
He was pushing the limits. I think he was trying to see how far I could go and what my loyalty was, and obviously
he was testing you.
Yeah, he was testing me, and I was in no position to argue with it. I was making over 200,000, man. I mean,
and you're a young coach.
What am I supposed to do? I pressed that thing. I thought about it for maybe a half a second, and he said, "How's Aaron doing?" And I knew what that was. How's she liking? The money. Right. So I pressed the button. I mean, it is what it is. I was working there. I had a job to do. My job was to win games where I was coaching. And it was, the only thing that got me through coaching there against Miami was that night they wore some funky green helmets and they wore black jerseys. They didn't look like my U. So I said to myself, I don't know who this team is. That ain't the U I know. That ain't the U on the 30 for 30. That's some other U. So that's what I kept telling the guys, and that's how I was able to compartmentalize that. And then the fact that, again, I got beat out by Beard. That was the first time. Al Golden hired Kevin Beard, and I was a little salty about that at the time. But, I was at Louisville, so it is what it is. But I had a job to do. It was tough, man. It was truly tough. And it's like that girlfriend that a guy might steal from you, and you try to tell your homeboys, I don't care about it. I don't care nothing about that. But inside, you care. You care.
Man, I'll tell you, I couldn't imagine being in that situation. Does anybody still mention that to you? Do you still hear about that?
Some of the fans, every now and then on Twitter, there's a couple guys I had to block because they never let it go. Every time I cheer about something, they say, you're the same freaking guy that sent that text out. Do you remember the guy sent that text out? Like, oh, man, I did. I mean, I was working for the guy. I can't apologize because it was what I pressed it. And I pressed it because, hey, man, I was making some money. And at that time, that was a lot of money for position coach. So I had to do what he said do.
Man, that's a tough one, man. I don't think people forget something like that so easily.
No.
And I think that's tough for you because obviously there's nothing you would want more in life than to be in the building in Miami and want people to move past that and forget about that. And nobody's more loyal to the Hurricanes than you are. I mean, without question. So it's man, that's a tough deal. And you have since you've applied for coaching jobs at Miami since then, and have not gotten them. And I know that's been really hard on you personally.
Yeah.
And man, that's just it just brings this whole thing full circle with this Louisville thing because that's why it happened. And you know what? You're not wrong. I mean, you were working for Louisville at that point in time, and college football is cutthroat. And man, well, I hope that before you get too gray, you got a lot of that gray stuff working there. I make sure I shave so I don't have any. But hopefully, before too many more grays grow in, that maybe one of these days they'll find the spot for you there over at the Heck Center or Schwartz Center, and get you back in that Hurricane fold. But in the meantime, you're stuck here with me on Wednesday nights, and man, we got a lot to talk about. Now, you went through the list of coaches, and Howard really revived Louisville. No doubt about it. But they've been able to hire since Howard some pretty damn good coaches, and it's amazing. I mean, when you think about it now, Charlie Strong, in fairness, was propped up a little bit by Clint Hurt. Clint Hurt did an amazing job for him recruiting.
Right.
So we don't really know if Charlie's a great coach or not a great coach. He's been somewhat successful, but I'm not going to anoint him. But Bobby Petrino has been fairly successful at times. Tends to get in his own way quite a bit. Like, probably shouldn't have made you send that text. I'm not sure that did Louisville get one player because you sent that text? Probably not, right?
I'm not. It's just the whole thing of he wanted to compete, and he knew that from me going from Western Kentucky to Louisville, he knew I had I was that guy that could get him into Florida high schools. And, once I got to Louisville, I was at a bigger school. It's no more excuses. I'm going after the big dogs. We play the big dogs. Let's eat. And a lot of those kids, man, they were great players, guys that probably should have gone to Miami, but they didn't. And we had some guys. I was going down their list. Guys, in my recruiting process, and I think I've told you this before, Gary, I would go down their list, and they got 50 guys committed. You can only take 30. So I was like, hey man, don't be left out, and you get a chance to play them. Wouldn't you like that? Yeah. So it was easier to compete against Miami because you're in the same conference than it was to compete. I mean, you could throw out the SEC when you're at Kentucky, but when you're on the bottom of the SEC, you're a doormat pretty much. I mean, that's hard, man, because they're like, well, it's the SEC, but so. But it was again, it was advantages to being there and beating Miami. And I think a lot of it had to do with Coach Petrino and his offense and his, what he was doing at the time. Gave D'Onofrio and Al Golden some problems that night, and so we were able to eke out a win that night.
So but the point I guess I'm making is they've been able to hire some pretty good coaches, and Jeff Brom, who they have now, is a very good coach. He's as good as any play caller in college football, quite honestly. If he's got the talent, and he's got the quarterback, he can dial it up on game day with the best of them. And I imagine he's going to come into Hard Rock Stadium Friday, Lamar, with he'll have some wrinkles. I mean, he knows that Miami has him outmanned a little bit at the line of scrimmage, and there's even talk he might use multiple quarterbacks. He'll probably come with some things that maybe they weren't expecting or ready for. But what is it about Louisville that allows them to attract quality coaches?
Well, one, Gary, they've never shied away from paying guys, and they got some money up there. The Kentucky Derby is in walking distance there. Whatever that little deal is, I mean, it's in walking distance. A lot of horse money up there, and there's a lot of financially set people up there that, again, you're the big show in town, in the city, and they don't mind shelling out. And so the ADs usually have I wouldn't say a hard task getting people to donate money. And that might be one of the reasons why they're able to get good coaches, because guys know that you have a Florida connection. They've had good players. You can get the run of them. You might get a guy that maybe is thinking about going to Ohio State. He might fall a little short. You can get that guy. Now they've added Vince Morrow there, who was a big time recruiter for Kentucky. He got a lot of guys out of Ohio, and so it's a great place, man. It really is. I would rather coach there than Purdue, and I see why Braun would leave. It's a good place, and he's from there. So your son, the son is coming home to coach there. His father coached at a high school, local high school, coaching Lebanon. So um, all those coaches they've had in the past have been able to get paid nicely, and they were able to get good players. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Sam Madison was there.
Mhm.
Devontae Parker. A lot of great players come out of Louisville that you might not think of. I mean, they put some guys in the league, man. And there's some good players, some really good players that have come out of there.
So you mentioned the South Florida connection, and I credit Clint Hurt for getting that thing going. I mean, back when he was there with Charlie, but they've certainly maintained it. You were able to come to South Florida and recruit Lamar Jackson, as we talked about. Guys like Teddy Bridgewater went there. There's a whole lineup of guys from South Florida, and now their greatest offensive weapon is Isaac Brown, a kid from Miami Homestead. So they've been able to maintain this pipeline to South Florida. And my question is why? Like, I don't understand. Like how all these kids aren't growing up in Homestead and South Dade and Fort Lauderdale saying, "Oh man, I want to be a Louisville Cardinal when I grow up."
They're not.
Like, how is this happening?
I mean, they've had success from that school. Burgess, linebacker played there. His James Burgess' son played at Louisville from Homestead. So it's been a connection there. People in South Florida trust Louisville. They trust them. Because what I found out about recruiting South Florida, it's all about trust. If you've done kids right from this area, if they can't go to Miami, they'll send them to wherever. Sometimes they want to get them out of Miami. So they trust Louisville. They've had a great success with Florida kids. Try to bring Florida kids to Kentucky. Stuff happened wrong. They cool up and they beat up everybody. They want to fight people at frat parties. All kind of stuff happens. But Louisville, it's like being at home, man. I mean, they have been able to keep this thing going. One or two guys here and there. Guys transfer, from another school from Florida to Louisville because they got guys on the team that are from Florida. And they treat the Florida they treat the Florida guys well. They don't treat them like they don't gang up against them. They treat them like, hey, they're all one. So
they're put on a pedestal, kind of. Yeah. And I guess the fact that they've consistently been able to dial up good offenses there doesn't hurt the situation. Louisville's been scoring points for a long time now.
Yes, they have. And with this Jeff Brom guy, man, I was in his offense, and it's Petrino's offense, I think, a little bit more modernized. What they're gonna try to do is, if they can get a bead on what you're doing, they have plays for everything. One of those. If they know that you're going to be in cover 2, they're going to beat you right up the middle. They're going to attack the weaknesses. Those guys that offense with Brom, Petrino, they're very thorough. Okay, running game. They're looking at where that 3 technique lines up. And let me tell you something else. You see that guy, that receiver they got, Bell? He's pretty damn good. Okay, they're going to move him all around. Okay, what they're able to do with Devontae Parker, you can't get a beat on him. It's not like he's going to line up one side. They're going to move him all around. You're going to see him in the slot. You're going to see him going in motion. They're going to move him all around to try to give him the ball. And they're going to run crossing routes. Then they're going to hit you on curls because they've always believed they're running 10-yard curls, 10 to 12-yard curls, because people have gone away from that. So they'll run the 4-5 curl a little deeper than that. They'll run curl stops. They'll run, and if you're off to the field, I know Petrino, one of the main things I had to do in his offense, as I'm the signaler, I had to look and see if they were off to the field, because they don't hesitate to bang a hitch, a quick out. They're gonna take what you give you, and if they can be the bead on it, they got one of the best. I don't know if he still does it now. I don't know if he still does it, but they got a guy. You're gonna see a tall guy named Pete. And boy, Pete is one of the best signal stealers ever. If he can steal your signals and he radio down to it, they're in cover 3, Bron. They're in cover 3, Jeff. I mean, if they can steal your signals, boy, they are on point because
Is
they
Pete
have
still
played.
there?
Pete is still there. I
Is he?
talked to Pete earlier. Last year I asked him about, you still selling signals? I'm gonna be watching you, dog. He said, man, I'm not doing that no more. I saw Pete. Pete probably still trying to get a bead
He's
on you, but
stealing signals.
He's one
Yeah.
of the best ever, man. He studies that stuff. He's a great guy too, man. But when they got you down, boy, let me tell you something. They know what coverage you in. They know when you finna blitz. And boy, if they got you, and they're
Yeah.
good at it. I'm not saying they cheat. That's not really cheating. If they can figure it out, let's put the puzzle together, guys.
Yeah. It's interesting. All right, so let's talk about how some of all this stuff applies to this week's game. So we're coming in. We've had 2 open weeks in the last 3 weeks. The Florida State game was sandwiched between 2 open weeks, and
right.
I don't think having an open week before Florida State hurt them, particularly on defense, because it gave them extra time to prepare for Gus Malzahn's offense. And up until the fourth quarter, it was working pretty damn well.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to figure out what happened in the fourth quarter. I think I'm just going to stop trying, because you just can't. How do you explain? There's no way to explain that. It was just too. It's too much of a one-off when you're dominating a football game, and then all of a sudden you give up 185 to 17 yard edge in the fourth quarter, get outscored 19-0. It doesn't wash with me. I can't begin to explain it. But now they've had another open week after the Florida State game to prepare for Louisville. And I wanted to ask you about open weeks because you kind of bring different perspectives to it. First, the coach perspective. What does an open week mean to the coaches?
Well, one, you get to recruit a little bit, you get out on the road a little bit after practices. You get to make more calls. You get to actually, depending on what school you're at, if you're a school that has some moolah, you get on the PJ. The PJ, and you show up at some of the practices and games and stuff like that. But it's mostly for us to get guys healthy, to do some advanced scouting also, to, you get that off week. I mean, you're just not sitting there concentrating on the week that's coming up. You're also concentrating on your upcoming opponent. So you start doing a little bit more advanced scouting for your position. It's sometimes, well, not sometimes, it's heaven sent sometimes because you beat up sometimes and you need that little extra week to get those guys healthy. And again, you're really homing in. I mean, you would think it's off week, you get to go home, relax. Nah, not as a coach.
Certainly not if you're working for Mario, you don't.
Hell no, Mario, Petrino, none of them guys, man. You ain't no, I got 3 days off. Hell no.
Hey, I don't know if you remember this, but last year in a column I wrote during an open week, I used the word vacation, that they were on vacation this week. I'm telling you, I got banned from the building.
Yeah,
I have never gotten MF'd for anything more in my entire career than saying that they were on vacation in an open week.
There ain't no open week, man. And some of the younger guys back in the day, we back on Green Tree, we look forward to the open week because it was like when we got to play the toilet bowl, so we got to show the guys that we really could play and stuff like that. But I think now a lot of these freshmen are really playing. So I don't know if they still do that type of stuff, but I truly believe that it's mentally refreshing to have an off week, especially nowadays with the grind of this whole, this is a whole different ball game than it was back when we were. I mean, obviously with social media and things like that, it's a different ball game.
What's an open week like from the player perspective? Do players like it? Not like it?
Well, if I think back let me think back as myself as a player. I didn't like that too much, man. I wanted to keep playing, man.
You wanted to
Man,
play.
our practice was rough, man. It was rough back in the day, man. It was competition, man. It wasn't no getting no rest. You had to still keep your position, and we were going at it. Now, as as a coach, I think a lot of these kids they like it because the schedule changes a little bit. We might not practice as long. Um, we probably might not meet as long. Probably no meetings in the afternoon after practice. So there is some a little bit less for the kids, for the guys. So maybe they like it. I'm pretty sure they like that. But again, I'm from a different era, man. Off week didn't mean off week. It was, and that's where Mario kind of gets it from. Ain't no off week, bro. We going at it.
Now, the ACC gives you 2 and 3 weeks. Okay, is that a favor to Miami, or is that a negative? 2 open weeks in 3 weeks. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
I haven't seen it either. I don't know how they. I don't. I don't think they've ever done anybody any favors now. Maybe Clemson, but yeah, it's kind of odd to see it like this. I probably would have preferred it being later on, but maybe between the two cold weather games. But um, I don't know. I mean, this is different. I mean, I kept saying, man, we got another off week, but hey, it is what it is, Gary. You take it, you make it, and you just continue to get better. Keep sharp, well, iron sharpen iron. So I'm pretty sure that Mario he knows what to do. I mean, he's had experiences many times before. It would be interesting to know what his and I probably should have looked it up, what his record is coming out of
At a bye
open
week.
weeks, bye weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head either, but I'm not sure he was a fan of it. Like I don't think he liked it, but he kind of took the approach that if I make a big deal about it, then the players are going to make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
So I'm not making a big deal about
Don't
it.
make a big difference.
We're managing it. We're
Yeah.
doing what we got to do, and
Yeah.
we're moving on. Like but I'm sure he didn't like it. Why would he like it? There's like nobody needs 2 weeks off in a 3-week span. All right, so with all this extra time,
Mhm.
that's given the rat poison that we keep hearing so much about. Certainly a little extra time to become potent, to kind of like take its effect. And there's been a lot of accolades going Miami's way.
Yeah. Lots of 'em.
Personal accolades, team accolades, and so far they've been able to ignore all that. With today's social media, though, Lamar, you can't get away from you. There's no getting away from it.
Well, I can tell you this, Gary. I think I've said this on the show, or maybe to you, or maybe some of my friends. When they say, "Oh man, wouldn't you like to play today?" NIL, yeah, but social media, man. I don't know how these kids navigate it. You think about this. You have a bad game back in the day. What person is gonna come up to you and say you had a bad game? Not many. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one idiot, maybe one drunk idiot in the Grove, maybe. And he probably got dealt with, knowing my guys. But if you turn on once you turn that phone on and you click on one of those sites and you've had a bad game, it could be brutal. And it's got to be hard for kids nowadays to navigate this thing. I mean, what comes along with their success and this money is people believing that they can say whatever they want to you, and they have access to you, or they think they have access. So, they just go all in, and And sometimes, these guys, these people that are going all in, they have no affiliation or they have no knowledge of the game. They're doing it for clickbait, and it's just the guy sitting in the basement, living at his mama house. It's just they have nothing else in life. And it's a tough deal to navigate. And I've seen it try to bring kids down, and you have to talk to them about it. And for the most part, you say, "Hey, man, try to stay off that thing if you can." You had a bad game, bro. You dropped the ball, so why go on that thing to fight these people? How about you come out the next game and you make it up, and then you go on there and you see now they've changed their tune and they're talking about how much they love you. So.
But in a way, things sometimes happen that you don't plan, and they can help you in a weird way. And I look at the way that Florida State game ended, and that you get boat raced 177 to 15 and outscored 19-0 in the final quarter of a game. I don't care that you won. Yeah. Okay, that's a humbling experience, and in a weird sort of way, that might have helped them get through this period without a game, because it certainly allowed the coaches to get their attention. And there are things we need to work on to get better. We cannot keep allowing these second half comebacks to happen. When we've got teams put away, we got to slam our foot down on them. And it kind of I got to think, Lamar, helps the coaches get the players' attention.
Yeah, Gary, the fact that you're always looking for something to make sure guys don't start reading the press. I mean, see how old school I am. I'm talking about reading the press, the paper. God dang, I get that out. But so now you say to these guys, "Hey, man, look, you see this? Come on, man. I don't care who's in there. We didn't get the job done in the second or the fourth quarter. We allowed them. We didn't get it done on offense. We didn't move the ball as much as we should have. We should have taken more time off the clock. We should have been we should have been more on point with what we were doing. We had an opportunity to basically close them out, to make them quit, make them say uncle. And on defense, we let a quarterback, he got out of some things. We had some great defensive call, but we let him get out. We let him slip out, and he made some throws and he missed some throws. So we have to home in on what we're doing so that doesn't happen again. So you watch that film over and over, and I know how, most of the time you put things to bed and you go into the next week, but I think it gave them an opportunity, those coaches, to show that we're not where we want to be. Because if we're where we want to be, we would have, it should have been 38-3. You know what I mean? So, and if we're really that good, I think we're good, but we're not great yet. Because once we put together a whole game, that's greatness.
All right, well, we're going to be joined in a minute by a guy that knew how to stomp on a guy when he had him down and keep him down for good. That's our main man, Vernon Carey. But first, let's hear from our friends at CaneSport.
Welcome to CaneSport. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, CaneSport has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. CaneSport, the spot Miami fans shop.
And like I said, Lamar's not in the store tonight, so you got to rely on the pictures behind us and that video we just showed you. But CaneSport is your spot to get anything that you could possibly want. Miami Hurricanes, and they've got hats and jerseys and polos and T-shirts and magnets and you name it, they've got it at CaneSport, and they got it in all sizes too: men, women, kids, babies, and
dogs.
Dogs, yeah, they will dress your dog at CaneSwear. So whoever you want to dress, whatever you want to dress in Canes gear, you can get it at CaneSwear. They're at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or you could shop them 24 hours a day at caneswear.com. Go by on your way to the stadium on Friday night. It's 15 minutes north of Hard Rock Stadium. Great pit stop on your way to the Rock, and pick yourself up something nice to wear to the game. And then, of course, like I said earlier, there's a lot of food in that shopping plaza. You can get some barbecue over there. You can get some subs over there. Great place to go on your way to the game. So 2655 South University Drive in Davie, or caneswear.com. Make sure you give CaneSwear a visit sometime soon. All right, now we're going to bring in the big guy onto our show, and Vernon Carey. And Vernon, great to see you again, and welcome back to the Lamar Thomas Show.
Oh, thanks for having me. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Well, Vernon, you know what? I got to tell you, man, what a great freaking golf tournament you put on.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, man, we've been putting that on for 16 years now, man. So, been a blessing. Got a lot of great sponsors. They rock with us every year. We able to pour back in the community, give back to the community. We give scholarships. We do back to school. We give kids shoes. Actually, we doing another event up in Tennessee this year with my sons.
Wow.
School too. So, just giving back. That's what it's all about.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Speaking of pouring, there's a lot of pouring out there. There's a lot of pouring of liquor.
Yes, it is.
Matter of fact, we just put the picture up of what was in my bag, and it's a lot. Look at that, boy. That's something.
That is a goodie bag if I've ever seen one.
Wow. I mean,
yes.
And Vernon, let me tell you something. Then you put me with the John Anthony Wine and Spirits team.
Oh, yeah.
With Adrian Ruiz and Mike and Kent Shockey. I mean, These guys are sending me some Pinot Noir for my wife.
That's right.
I mean, good Lord, man. I mean,
it's a good place to be, man. It's a good place to be.
It was so much beverages, adult beverages out there, and food too. Man, food man. I had to. You remember I told you, Vernon, I had to pray about them ribs.
Oh man, yes.
I had to pray.
And we had the Hooters out there.
Hooters. Oh man, you had Hooters. You had the sausage sandwiches. Oh.
Yep.
Man,
it's a great event, man. I think we had 8? It's 18 holes. I think we had 12 liquor vendors.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes. It was that type of event.
It was that type of event, Gary. My wife was like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "On the way."
I can't drive home.
On the way, I think. Hey, Vernon, man. So, I mean, you being from Miami, Northwestern, a Bull, you coming to the University of Miami, and pretty much dominating. As you see this O-line, what are your thoughts on this O-line and what they've been able to do so far this year?
Oh man, it's very impressive, man. We used to have a saying when I was there was, if we keep our quarterback off the ground, we'll win the game. And they are displaying that. You know what I mean? I think we're very strong on the O-line and D-line, and that's what we've been lacking at a couple years. We always have skill guys. You know what I mean? But to get those guys in the interior and to be strong like they've been playing, and we got a little depth there.
Yes.
Like you said, if we could just finish the game, complete a game, then you'll know we really for real. But I think we're for real. But hey, I'm gonna just sit back and just enjoy the ride, and I'm gonna talk smack.
We are talking a lot of smack. But when you see the continuity of these guys, and as the old lineman, how long does that take usually? I mean, how long does it take for guys to come together and play as one unit?
It takes a couple of months. It could take a whole summer. I mean, as long as you guys really work together, really have a real true bond. You could call guys out, hold guys accountable. it's easy to get things done. You know what I mean? It's when you got a sugarfoot or be kind and not be fake with your words. But if you could be real with your words with guys and articulate what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it, I think usually the good things happen when you communicate well.
Hey Vern, back when you played, obviously you were a big offensive tackle coming out of high school, but you were kind of a one-off in a way. Like you were the biggest guy, and offensive linemen, obviously we're always big kids, but like nothing like what we're seeing today, where everybody's 350 pounds. And, you look at that Miami O-line room. I'm not sure if you've been down there recently, but man, like even the freshmen are huge kids. And
hey, you know what they say? They're paying them young.
they're
they eating better. They got better trainers. They got everything better.
Something has changed. That's what I wanted to ask you. What's changed? Like, how did the position evolve into this?
Hey, Deion Sanders said a long time. Must be the money.
It's the money.
It's the money, man. I mean, you got to think about it. Kids are training earlier at a young age, because they're able to come into money earlier. You know what I mean? When we was coming out, we had to wait 5 years or 4 years in college. Now, shoot, they get money the first day in college.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's totally different. I mean, it's really minor league with a little education.
Exactly. Hey,
That's
Bernie,
exactly what it is. It's minor league with education. So, it's just adapting, and the guys are getting faster. Guys are getting better, coming out quicker and faster because, like I said, they know they got money coming, and they training their body to be in better shape. So, like an athlete, they becoming professionals earlier.
Vernon, we were talking about the off week, and I
Mhm.
tried to remember back in the day. I mean, we back when I was playing, man, it was war. Even then, I mean, we had the one little day off for the toilet bowl, but other than
Yep.
that, we was getting it in, dog. It was still competing out there
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they kept us hungry enough that we couldn't wait to get back to playing.
Yeah. I don't remember that week. All I do remember is the toilet bowl.
Yeah, see,
That was the fun part. Yeah.
that was the tradition. But
Yeah.
I just know that it went right back to normal. It's right back to
Well,
getting it
now
in.
they get 2 weeks off now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And they
I
play
don't know.
one more game, right? So it's like
Yes.
the game has totally changed. More games, more money. Because I guess they need more money to go around, right?
Could you imagine the social media deal? I mean, you know, in the access that these fans or they think they have to you, being able to critique you. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was in the Grove, and let's say, because I know you didn't, but let's say you missed the block. I ain't gonna be man enough to come up to you and say, "Hey, dog, why you missed that block?" Because you're a big, massive man.
Yeah.
But they can say it online. How would you have dealt with all that stuff? And what do you tell your kids on how to deal with this?
I guess being a professional, you got to have tunnel vision. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can't really pay attention to the haters or naysayers out there because, you know what I mean? You got a job to do and you can't really be distracted with what they're saying. It's your job to prove them wrong. You know what I mean? And take advantage and use it as motivation to fuel you as an athlete. You know what I mean? To do better and prove them wrong. So, I mean, you got to make the best of what it is,
Yeah.
Hey, Vern, when you watch Mario and Mirabal coaching these offensive linemen that are on the Canes today, what stands out to you? Like, what do you see them doing that's making them successful with this group?
Well, Mario, he always been good with offensive linemen. I remember when I first got there, he was the GA, and he was always the guy who stayed after practice. You know what I mean? Like, he was always eager to get better, always want to help us with technique. I remember him and Brian McKinney always after practice, and him taking me and him and working after practice, working on technique, working on our hands, working on our steps. And, you saw the passion as a young coach. So to see him flourish and arrive where he always had passion. So it's a no-brainer to see what the success he has had.
But is it the way they're teaching technique? Is it just that they're recruiting good athletes?
That part.
That part. He answered that quick. That part.
That part. I mean, I was gonna say that part. I mean, it's easy when you got great talent too. You know what I mean? So, you know, he I guess he learned that when he went to Alabama. You know, how to get all the best talent, and you know, he knew from being at UM. So I guess it was easy to duplicate that when he got in position to be able to acquire guys. You know.
But even at Oregon, like he had Penei Sewell, you know, it's like they.
Well, he had the Nike machine behind that one.
Yeah,
yeah, good point.
So I mean, as long as he got the proper support behind him, let's use that word at that time. Now you can say resources, but back then you had to say
support.
As long as he got the right support and the right system, I think he can recruit. As long as he keep recruiting, I think he'll stay in position to be where he at. You know what I mean? He just got to keep, and that's just always been his thing, is recruiting. So it's finally he got his class, and you know, I would love to see a quarterback we can have for 2 years, but okay.
yeah.
But other than that, I like the way the program is going.
Now, Vernon, a question. Like, so your son didn't come to Miami, went to Duke, right?
Mm-hmm.
And was he on the? I can't remember. Were you guys on the cusp of the NIL? Was it before the NIL or?
It was before. It was before. Yeah. I think it was a year before. I think they started getting paid the year next. I think my son would have known that. He was like, man, I'll be making millions right now. I was like, yeah.
He would have been $1 million recruit.
Oh yeah.
My goodness. I mean,
but the youngest son not doing bad for himself at Tennessee, so I'm happy for him, man.
Well, here's the question I had for you. You remember, and I want to. The AAU circuit became bigger than the high school, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it is. It's much bigger than the high school. That's where you get your scholarship at. That's where you earn everything at. It's the travel league because it's good players playing against good players. So you get to see how truly good players are instead of you playing in high school and it'd be lopsided. You beat a damn kid 40, 50. It's 80 to 10. You be like, well, shit, that one, you can't judge nothing off of that. You know what I mean? So it's when you go to the circuit, that's all good players playing against each other. You can't hide. You know what they say? You can't hide.
Yeah, you can't hide.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
and the shoe money. Shoe money is off the chain back then. I mean, it was off the chain back then. I know it got to be really off the chain right now. So,
well, the way I think the way they do the AAU is they pay the organization. So it's the teams, they own the teams. The guys who own the teams make the money off of that. But the kids, you know, they just get the gear and they get to play in front of colleges. So, you know, or you know, the kids who probably can't afford it probably get what they call it, a scholarship where they pay for their travels and everything. You know what I mean? So
I don't know if they doing it like that no more, dog. I
don't know. I've been out of it for a while. Thank God, man. That was the longest part of my life, man. It was a lot of traveling behind them kids.
I talked to Kevin Knox, who's probably gonna have these 2 kids that are coming up that are in college, 3 lottery picks. So he told me about the money that the shoe money was off the chain. And he was negotiating his own contracts. I mean, he said, man, I just left Nike because we left Adidas. So I got to get back in good graces with Nike and go to a couple of their camps. And I'm like, is it that much? It's that much. So that's why I was kind of saying the whole thing about the shoe money, like the shoes, can cause the kid to not go to one school to go to another school.
Yes.
Wow.
I know what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yes.
That's after me. So I wouldn't know about that part. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Like, you need to go to my school brand. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because you got the Under Armour, you got the Adidas circuit, you got the Nike circuit, and they're gonna try to persuade you to go to one of their colleges that they sponsor.
Man, it's a lot, man. It is a lot to deal with being a parent. It seems like you've navigated very well. I saw your daughter.
I got one more. I got a daughter. Yeah, she 11, man. She's so tall, man. She going in volleyball. That's just as bad as basketball and baseball. They play and they travel, man. You be gone all summer.
Wow.
The whole summer, man. It's
the whole summer.
Non-stop year, bro.
And she's just 11.
Yeah.
But you know what, Vernon? It's not always easy, man. And like I think you look at Vernon Jr. and what he went through. I mean, he was such a great prospect when coming up through AAU and high school, and
Yep.
He goes to Duke, and he was at Duke, I believe, 1 year, right?
Yep, he did 1 year, one National Freshman of the Year.
Yeah,
But he got caught in the pandemic year,
right.
2020 year, where everything shut down. So he missed March Madness.
Wow.
Right. But then he went right into the NBA, correct?
Yep. He got drafted to the Hornets.
Yeah,
The second round, the first pick of the second round.
And like I know that it hasn't gone like the model way that he would have liked it all to go. And I just wonder about the whole one and done thing. And I've always have, and I'm gonna ask you about it because you lived it. Would he have benefited from spending another year or two at Duke and just continuing to develop?
I would definitely say so.
Yeah.
I think 1 more year probably would have helped him. But he made his decision. It's
Right.
part of life. You got to make them, and you roll with them. But right now he's out in Houston, and he's doing there. He's with the G League,
Okay.
and he's trying to get his knee back up the right part because he missed the whole season because his knee was messed up. But once he get back up the right part, they're supposed to bring him up probably around January or February. So hopefully he just, get through that process and he get where he need to be to.
And he played with the Wizards also 1 year, right?
Yeah, he played with the Wizards. And then he went overseas and kind of killed it. He was the MVP every month, November, December, January, and then he got hurt. And then he had to take a whole year off. So but the game is going back to his style, bigger guys who score the ball. It was small man game 2 or 3 years ago. Everybody wanted to be like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and KD. So, but the era's kind of moving over a little bit. Now you got fast basketball still, but it's bigger guys playing. You got the freak. You just got bigger dudes with the ball now.
Your audio got a little goofy there for a minute. Hopefully it corrects itself. But Shane Larkin, who played for the Hurricanes, started out in the NBA as well. He went overseas to Europe and played several years and has become a superstar over there, making all kinds of money. So like Europe is not always such a negative for some of these basketball players. Oh,
Hey,
did
we lose him? Did we lose him?
No, I think he locked up. Yeah.
He locked up.
Yeah,
Take him out.
Vernon, if you can hear us, come back in, okay? Because
Yeah,
your connection locked up. But that one and done thing, LT is a complicated. It's complicated. It's complicated for the parents. And you see it with football players as well. I'm going for 3 years. Like nobody comes out of high school anymore thinking they're going to play 4 or 5 years of college. In 3 years, I'm going to take my talents to the National Football League.
3 to 4 years. That's what they say. 3 to 4 years. And no more saying 3 to 5. No more saying I'm a red shirt. And red shirt to a lot of these kids is they feelings hurt. They
go too soon. Let's apply it to the Hurricanes. Look at Damian Martinez, who could have come back this year and gotten a pretty good NIL check.
Yeah.
He's on a practice squad. Maybe he's still on the practice squad. I haven't checked lately. He didn't make a roster. He could have come back and made significantly more at Miami on NIL. They wouldn't have gone and gotten Marty Brown, obviously, in the portal. But if Damian Martinez was back, he could have come back and made money. I'll even throw Restrepo, out there.
Did he have another year?
I think he. I might be wrong. Maybe he didn't.
I think he was there. I think he was there 6 years, man.
Yeah. But it's a tough decision for these families and kids, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Welcome back, Vern.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, phone good.
Sorry, we lost you there, but I was just talking about how a lot of these basketball players go to Europe and make it big, like Shane Larkin, who played for the Hurricanes. I mean, he's been a superstar over there in Europe. So sometimes going to Europe is not such a terrible thing,
Yeah, you just got to end up in the right city.
Yeah,
the right cities over there. You'd be happy. Those guys be very happy,
and they take care of you over there too. My sister plays professional basketball in different countries, man, and she's making a lot of money, and she's like, you think I should come back? I said, don't come back to the well runs dry.
Yep.
Because you ain't going to be making a lot over here. So go ahead and get your money and do your thing while they're taking care of you.
Yep.
Phil Ella, one of our viewers, he's asking, what are the odds that Mario still calls it the toilet bowl?
I'm pretty 100% sure it's called the toilet bowl. He's not changing. He's from the old school. He
Hey, you
understands.
remember the trophy, dog? What about the
Yeah,
trophy?
it was toilet on something. On a helmet, right?
Yeah, it was toilet paper on the helmet. I mean, it was all kind of crazy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
And
they did all type of
man,
stuff.
I know I was MVP my freshman year. I'm running around, boy. I'm just I'm like, man.
And you know what? You know what? The young guys kind of enjoy it because that's their
Yeah.
time to show out for the team.
It's the
So
time to show out. It's the time
yeah,
to show
so
out when you're not
the young
playing.
guys.
But nowadays, you know how it is, man. All these young guys want to play, and if they don't
Yep.
play, their feelings hurt.
Or they
You
trade
know?
in mid-season.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just a little toughness. That's why they need to tweak that a little bit.
Yeah.
How you get character, and when things adversity, when things ain't going your way. So it's hard for those kids to ever learn how to deal with adversity if they always running from it.
Yep. Always quitting. I call it quitting. Hey, Bernard, I gotta ask you this: what's it like for you to come to the games now? Like, I mean, you traveling. You got the kids and all. If you had all that now, we're winning this year. I mean, we were winning last year. I mean, what's it
So
like for
let me
you?
tell you about this story. Last week, I got to check something off my bucket list. Was go to Florida State game.
Oh yeah.
And man, let me tell you, man, I got in character, man. I was like, man, I started drinking, and everybody know me, man. I was like, man, I was talking smack in the line. I was like, boy, we gonna beat y'all, and I was for sure knew we was gonna beat them because I saw the week before when they lost Virginia. Everybody kept talking about this quarterback from Florida. I said, he ain't what he think he is, because I see how he moving. He ain't that guy. I mean, he acting like he that guy, but he not that guy. And I saw what he was capable of. I was like, nah, we got him. We got defense, bro. We got a real defense. That remind me back of that UM win back in 01 and 2000 when we always had pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they got,
Hey, speaking of Florida State's quarterback, they're asking the offensive lineman, is it easier to block for a pocket quarterback or a running quarterback, a guy that can scramble?
I'm from old school, so I'm gonna say pocket, because I know where he at. He right here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know
Yeah.
exactly
So
where he is.
I'm from old school. I like but now the new school, you just gotta stay with your block because you don't know what the hell gonna happen.
Yeah.
So when you got a mobile quarterback, you gotta be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it gets you in bad situations.
Oh yeah, it can mess you up a little bit. Get a sack on your damn record. I mean, on your chart, you be like, hey man, he ran right into my thing because the other dude chased him into my guy. But it is what it is. So we all work as a unit, so we don't really bicker about that.
All right, the last little bit, even though this is a hurricane show, what's going on with the Dolphins, man? What's going on with the mullet? What's going on with the Fins, dog?
Well, you sound like my mom. I don't know, man.
The whole line look trash, dog. I hate to say that, but
I can't say nothing bad about them, man. I like them like I love the Dolphins. I mean, Canes. I know that was more business, but yeah, man. I guess the real word is, it's time to move on.
There you go. In a lot of cases.
Yeah, it's business, it ain't personal. You know what I mean? Shoot, just how it was for me, for anybody else. It's just business.
Me too.
It ain't personal.
It's business.
You ain't getting the job done, it's time to next man up.
I know one guy that would love the GM job. Alonso would love to get that job.
Oh man, yeah, man. Everybody job on the line, when you ain't winning. And shoot, it's been 2 years, 3 years. So, shoot, everybody knows it's coming.
Everybody know it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Well, are you coming to the game on Friday?
Of course. I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'm always at the Canes. I'm always rooting for the Canes because, shoot, we winning too. Man, we got to enjoy our moment.
You got the suite again? I might stick my head in there.
Of course, I'll be in there.
Hey, Bernard, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having me on, man. Thanks for coming out the other day, man. I appreciate you, boss, man.
Hey, man, I got enough liquor to last me 2 years now. Thank you. I'll see you at the game on Friday night.
All right, have a blessed day.
Good seeing you, Vern. Yes. Bye-bye. Man, he's a good dude.
Yeah, the fact that the whole thing of you having kids that are in that upper echelon, lottery picks and stuff like that, and all the when the kid went to Duke, it was such a big decision, and they had to make a business decision. That's what parents, I won't say parents, fans sometimes don't understand. When you make a decision, you're making a decision that's best for your kid, or the kid is making a decision that's best for him. People ask all the time, why did you not? You said you were a Gator fan. Why did you not go to the school in Florida? Well,
Right.
I did my research, and Miami to me was a better opportunity for myself and for my family. It had nothing to do with myself not being a Florida fan. But why am I going to go to Florida when I'm just going to go there and just be a guy when I can come to Miami and be the guy?
Yeah.
That made no sense to me. So I always applauded, watching him and the way they were able to handle it, and he went on to Duke and did his thing, and I've always applauded him for that.
Yeah, he handled it great, and
Yeah.
not too different from the Booster twins that left Miami. Columbus went to Duke.
Correct.
I mean, how do you argue with going to Duke for basketball? But the whole one and done thing. I think I think his son is an example of it. It can catch up to you too. Like not everybody's ready to go from high school to the pros. You're 19 years old at that point, and you're going to play against grown men, man. It's like it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out so great for Vernon Jr. I'm sure he made plenty of money, and he's taken care of for the rest of his life. But he would have been better off probably staying at Duke for another year or two and developing more.
Again, he said that he got caught up in the COVID, so he didn't get March Madness. So that might have been an opportunity for him to see whether he wanted to do it or not. Because now you're going up against the best of the best each and every week. And if you do well, okay. If you don't, then hey, maybe I should stay. You just never know. And that whole COVID thing, I think it hurt some people, hurt a lot of people, but it also helped some people because it gave them more years to, you take that COVID year, they threw it out, and now you continue to. I mean, you think about guys playing 6 years, 7 years, 8 years in college. That's a long time, bro. So some of these records and stuff, they're supposed to be broken when you spend 6 years in college. They are.
Yeah. All right. So we talked a little bit about the rat poison, and how that's been an obvious theme. Fighting the rat poison, not listening to what everybody says about you. Does rat poison apply to coaches, Lamar? And let's take Shannon Dawson. Okay. This coaching carousel is starting a little early this year now. And there's a lot of jobs opening up, and there's going to be a lot of movement and stuff. Very obviously, Shannon's got a very aggressive agent who's putting them out there for head coaching jobs on a regular basis and stuff. And, does it become hard for a coach to stay focused on the task at hand when you might get an opportunity to go, make yourself a bunch of money and be a head coach somewhere. I don't know what Shannon wants to do or not do. I mean, I personally hope that he stays here forever. I think he's the perfect OC for this program and doing a great job. And I'd hate to see him go take some crappy head coaching job that lasts for a couple years and then get sent back out to go be an OC again. But he's not here, and
right.
But can coaches fall victim to rat poison?
They definitely can. The thing that I would think Shannon has to do is continue to call plays like he has, to be consistent, to get this team to the championship or get them in the playoffs, because the better you do, the better. And that's the thing people don't understand, numbers, man. We talked about last week, guys not playing because coaches don't trust them. They're going to only put guys in there that are going to help their numbers because it's about numbers. The more numbers you put up and wins, I think Shannon has learned that maturity-wise, you still got to win the game. Sometimes the numbers might not be there, but if you do the right thing as far as take care You know your defense is playing well. You try to take care of the ball, punt the ball back to them. Those type of things that shows in a way that's head coach ability. You know, that's being able to manage the game and still come out victorious. So I think for him, he has to continue. I mean, it's right there. I mean, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. You come to Miami, you knew what you were coming for. You were coming to win as many games as you can, maybe win a championship if you can. Get us to an ACC championship. How about that? We haven't been there but one time. So get us back to an ACC championship, not and get us there and maybe even win a national championship. Now your name is being mentioned along with a lot of other coaches for an opportunity to, let's be honest, lifelong dreams and lifelong money. I mean, the way the head coaching system is set up now, I mean, you're in it for a minute, you get fired, you're getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now
It's hard to say no, even if you're really ready or not, or you really have a passion to do that job. It's a whole different
It's a
deal
whole different thing.
than being an OC. But it's hard to
Yes.
say no if somebody wants you
Yes.
for that money.
You're going from $1 million, $2 million to now $8 million,
Yeah.
$9 million.
Or in
And
his
then the
case, 4 million, 3. Yeah.
4 million, 5 million. I don't even know what these guys making
I
now.
mean,
But
if he's figuring he's going to get a lower to middle level job coming out of the gate,
well,
you know.
that's so he's going to have to make a decision.
Yeah.
If why
I
take
agree.
why take a job at Louisiana Monroe? I'm just saying, like a school like West Kentucky,
There you go.
or something like that. When obviously, if you're able to win a championship, now you might be in the likes of, trying to think of somewhere that's right there, a Kentucky.
Yeah. Or Virginia Tech or
Virginia Tech or something like that. So it's a tough situation, but it's going to all depend on him continuing to win. I think in both coordinators, that's what you get the jobs for. You get the jobs for yourself to one day be a head coach, and but you have to do what you're supposed to do, win ball games, play solid on whatever side of the ball you're on, and show that you can manage the players that you're coaching, because now you've shown that you can manage the team or organization or your side of the ball. That's another reason why special team coaches also make good head coaches, because I didn't know this until I became a head coach. I mean, a special teams coach. You're basically coaching everybody, every position. You got to know somebody at every position. You got the O lineman, you got to know for field goal. You got to know D lineman for field goal block. You got to know linebackers and DBs for punt and kickoff return. I mean, you got to know wideouts and you got to know holders, the quarterbacks. You got to know the punter. I mean, you got to know everybody on the team. So that's why a guy can go from being a special teams coach to a head coach, because he's basically doing that. He's knowing everybody on the team.
All right, so shift gears here. We're back at Hard Rock night game.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously helps Miami a lot. It's a huge home field advantage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It could get crazy in there. We're hoping it gets crazy. People getting off work, they get a little sauced up. They might not have enough time to drink it in the parking lot, but they're gonna be hitting it on the turnpike, getting a little bit coming into the stadium. And I would have been a lot more worried if it wasn't that we're coming off an off week, because Gary, you got to understand, these younger players, they have a schedule now. They're pretty much they think they're setting their schedule, and now you're changing it a little bit. You're changing it. You got a day earlier, so everything that they might have done on Mondays before, they ain't doing. They're doing it on Tuesday or something. They're moving it. It's a lot that goes into it, but because you had an off week,
right,
you can slow it down a little bit and give them that schedule ahead of time and let things process and it plays out, because the younger you are, the faster the game is going. And I'm not talking about just on the field. It's off the field also. As the older you get, it slows down. I mean, even though Malachi Tony is doing great, and balling, and, he's in there studying, this thing is moving fast for him. It's moving fast. I can only imagine being straight out of high school and being a young straight out of high school, how fast this is going.
Did you see he went out in the community? Did you see? I don't know if you
Yes,
saw it or not.
I saw it.
And there was a massive crowd around him
Yes.
that they were taking some pictures and stuff. That's a lot for a young
Yes.
freshman.
I think he's handling it well. I mean, that's what he's shown so far. I mean, he's a different kid, man. You take it back to high school and he gave up his receiver position to help that team, as a quarterback, and actually did it very well. So, I mean, he's much more mature, and he seems like he's handling it very well. Um, he's a joy to watch, and he's a joy to. I watch him on the sidelines. When I just watch him when he's not in the game and stuff, and I watch the way he handles himself. He's pretty much focused, man, and that's a lot for, again. Now he's 18, right?
Yeah.
That's 18, man. I don't
Just
know
turned
about,
just turned 18.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know, man. I'd be looking at the stands, trying to get phone numbers and stuff. I don't even know what I'd be doing. At
He's
18.
even got his own slogan, Gabos.
Yeah,
Have you seen
Gabos. What was
gaming
that?
based on sympathy?
Hey, man, it sure ain't. It sure ain't. I mean, he got Michael Irvin, got his phone number. You know, shoot, it took him a long. It took me a long time to get Michael Irvin's phone number, and he already got it.
Yeah, it's
It's
a lot
great to
for
watch.
you.
It's great to watch. It's great to watch the way he's handling it, and it just seems like he's very intense. And I think it's good for the other receivers to see that even though he's a young guy, he wants it, and he wants it bad.
Let's talk a little bit about the other young receiver on this team that the first half of the year hasn't quite gone his way.
Right.
JoJo Trader was hurt, hasn't been able to work his way back now that he's healthy. I asked about him on Monday, and Shannon Dawson said he's much happier with the way he's been practicing. He's been doing better. So hopefully he's carrying that through the week, and we will see him on Friday night. But how often do you think, how important do you think it is that they get him integrated? I mean, his talent is unquestioned. He's right there with like a Tony in his capability to make big plays. And, he's got that kind of athletic ability. You're getting on a stretch here of 7 games in 7 weeks. How important is it to get JoJo Trader integrated?
I think it's very important. I think everybody has to understand that it's including himself, that it's a long season. The first 7 games didn't go right, a couple weeks, 5, whatever it is. It didn't go the way you wanted to. You were hurt. Maybe some other things happened, but you got an opportunity. The more we win, the more people are going to see you. And now you're getting out of the doghouse, getting in good graces with, Shannon said he's improving. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see him. We need that. You need those weapons. We talked last year about the running backs in the beginning of the season, and they kept saying it's a long season, so all these guys are going to be able to help us. The longer the season goes, each guy is going to probably be able to do his thing and not be mad about maybe I didn't get the ball as much, but that's also in the receiver room. You get an opportunity. It's such a long season. You're going into the playoffs. You got the bowl game, the ACC game, then, if we were able to make it to that, this is a long season. So he has ample opportunities to do what he's supposed to do, get back in the good graces of the coaches, the coordinator, the wide receiver coach, and most importantly, the quarterback. That though all three of those entities have to say, hey, we trust you enough to get you back in there. You got to show it in practice. Let's see what you got. And now you get all of them on board. It can be an amazing comeback.
You've been there as a coach. Is it a delicate? I would think it's a delicate line, because you got a kid that was expecting to be a superstar. Let's be honest. And from the time he came out of high school, I'm sure he's got a very nice NIL deal, the whole thing. And you're disciplining him. in a sense, because he's not, you don't feel he's working hard enough at practice. He's not executing well enough. You're not just gifting him a spot out there on the field on game day, because you've got other guys that have been performing pretty well here in the early part of the season. And it's not fair to them, if you're not practicing better than them, to sit them down and show favoritism. But I would think it's also, there's a little bit of a line there. Can too much discipline, Lamar, send a kid into a shell?
Yeah, it can. So you have to be very mindful of that. That's when you have to be able to put your arm around the kid and you have a heart-to-heart with him. And I don't think a lot of coaches do that today. But you got to be able to, the kid has to know that you got their best interest at heart. You're trying to give them an opportunity. I had to deal with a kid from Kentucky when I was at Louisville. He was from Louisville, and he was a big-time player. But the guys from South Florida were outperforming him. And I was getting a little flack from people in Louisville. Like, hey, man, we want to see this guy play. And I was like, bro, I can't put you out there, man. You're messing up. You spending too much time smoking that dirty. I can't put you out. Petrino, man, I'm trying to keep my job, bro. So, I mean, what you want me to do, dog? But I told him, I said, what you need to do is make plays in practice. So when you make plays in practice, we watching this thing at night, and he's seeing you make plays. Practice has to mean more to you right now than getting in the game. And once you're able to make plays in practice, and also stay off the didn't show up on time list, didn't do your workout list, not making good grades list, these are also factors that factor in, because they have to trust you. I have to trust you. I love you. I trust you only so much. You know what I mean? You have to just be honest with them. And once you're honest with them, you're hoping, because again, you don't want to completely just tear a kid down and he never comes back. If he's not going to come back, it has to be on them. And you have to be able to say, hey, bro, all right, let me go to the file and read this list of all the stuff that you've done that there's no coming back from. I take notes on everything. Okay, he showed up late for weightlifting. All right. Okay. So when he hey, coach, why I ain't playing? Here you go. I got a list.
Mm-hmm.
You ran the wrong route 4 times in practice. You in a walkthrough, you messed up. How am I gonna put you
How am I
in,
supposed
dog?
to put you out in the game, right?
How am I gonna put you out there, man? I'm committing coaching suicide putting you out there, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
For real, I can't do it. You just made me. You don't even know the stress level you just gave me, because we have a meeting after the walkthrough, and Petrino used to berate when your kid messed up on perfect Thursday or whatever the hell it was, and it wasn't perfect. Oh man, and my stomach used to be hurting because you knew it was coming up. You wanted to go to the bathroom a little bit, but you knew it was coming. Because he was what the did he not? Does he not know the plays? Are you not teaching him, Lamar? Are you serious? What am I paying you for? I'm paying you a lot of money. I can send your ass to Miami. Yeah.
Please.
All right. You got to hook up? You got to in over there?
I'll buy my own plane ticket, Bobby.
But yeah, man, it is it's a lot. So I hope that what Shannon said was correct, and that we get an opportunity to see him, because he is such a talent, and you just don't want him to get in that whole mindset of I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Because now
that doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
and people are in his ear.
Oh yeah.
All over Hollywood. It's a tough situation, especially when it's a local kid. But Shannon did say he's been spending some time with him as well.
Good.
And it sounds like that's
what you need to do. That's what you have to do as a coach, man. You have to be able to let these kids understand that you do believe in them.
Yeah,
you're just trying to give them an opportunity to learn. You got to learn. You got to do it right. Now, the other guys, they're not perfect, but I trust them more than I trust you.
Right. Well, we're all pulling for him. So
Oh, yeah,
hopefully Friday night's the night that we see
I would like
JoJo
to see
Trader
it.
bust out a little bit for the Canes. All right, so the game itself is kind of interesting. We've talked about the Louisville passing game, Jeff Brom being able to dial it up. Pete over there stealing signals and telling everybody what defense we're in and all that. And we've talked about all that, but Miami to me has an edge, Lamar, in the sense that Miller Moss does not function well under duress.
Yes.
And duress has been Miami's calling card up front.
Yes.
From the defensive line standpoint this entire season. And that Corey Heatherman, he's sitting there saying, I'm getting after this kid.
Yes.
He's going to throw the ball to us.
Yeah.
You agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched the last game. He does not do well under duress. I mean, we thought Lagway had happy feet going nowhere. This guy will try to get rid of it, and he will throw it to the other team. I mean, their old line, let's see here. The pass blocking grade, they're 105th in the country. The run blocking grade is 107. 107. So they haven't been playing that good up front. And what's the name of these? So let's see here. They got one tackle, Musasa, number 71, and then they got another kid that his backup is a freshman. One of them's a transfer from Purdue, so Braun brought him from Purdue, and they ain't playing well. They've given up some sacks. As I watched the Virginia game, they were having a field day. So now they do have that running back is nice. They have Bell, the receiver, but they also have number 5, Lacey. I think that's his name. He is a hell of a returner. He runs a lot of crossing routes. He accelerates. He runs away from defenders. And he's, again, I'm going to say this again, he's a hell of a returner. But we've done well this year. Our special teams have done very well. We played against Burnell Brown, the kid, Florida State. We've done really damn good on the special teams this year. The punter has done a good job pinning them deep. But they have some weapons now. And you remember Skinner?
Yep.
Was it Jamal? What was his first name?
Jaleel Skinner.
Jaleel Skinner. He's over there looking like Ichabod Crane, number 88. That's what he is. He's catching some balls. Louisville is always, in that offense, have always thrown the ball to the tight ends. They've always had some pretty decent tight ends, and he's their run-catching tight end. So we will see a lot of him. But it starts with that O-line, and like you said, we're causing so much havoc without even bringing 5 guys. So the more guys we have in the secondary, again, they love to run crossing routes. They love to throw the ball field. Bell has now. I thought that Deuce and number 1 had a little connection. Now Moss will throw it to Bell. He will throw the fade, the back shoulder fade to Bell all day if he can. They have a nice little connection going on. Number 0, that is his go-to guy. And then he'll throw it to Skinner a little bit. Then he'll throw it to number 5 on crossing routes and stuff like that, little mesh routes. But they love to throw the ball down the sideline to 0 and let him make the decision of the back shoulder or go over the top. And that's their deal. He made a hell of a catch last week when they played Virginia, a one-handed catch, which probably one of the catches of the year for the touchdown. He's having a great year. I think he had 35. Right now, 35 catches, 502 yards, and averaging 14.3. And he has 4 touchdowns this year. So he's having a hell of a year.
So now on the flip side, Louisville defensively, they try to take away the big play and make you earn your way down the field, and they'll certainly probably try to do that. But that could be problematic against Miami also because Miami will just run the ball down your throat. If you got those safeties sitting back and you don't commit them to the running game, Miami's got the weapons on the O-line and running back. They'll just pound you to death. So it's going to be an interesting chess match
Well, I can tell you this, Gary. If you're going to play bend but don't break, which I don't believe their coordinator will do because um, he likes to bring it every now and then. They got some good pass rushers up there. Let's see, they got number 50. He has about 4 sacks. That's Caleb Lubin. They also have number 23, West Beasley or something like that. He has 2 sacks, and number 9, he has 2 sacks. So they got some guys that can rush the pass a little bit. But if you allow our quarterback, the ultimate game manager, to sit back there and you don't get close to him, he's one of the leading passers. I think he's in the top 20. If you don't put pressure on him, he has a high percentage of pass completions. So if you're going to play bend but don't break against this guy, and like you said, with that run game also being able to lean on some of these guys, they're not the biggest guys. They get after it a little bit, but with that running game, last week they stacked the box, but I don't know if I don't know if Louisville does that. I think they leave some lanes open. Just bend, but don't let them get behind you. And I think at some point, their coordinator will take some chances. He's always been that guy at some point, and I've seen it come back to haunt him in a couple games when he was at Purdue and even at Louisville. So this guy that we have I think he's seen a lot. I think he's seen more than many. So I'm pretty sure that he is prepared, and those guys will be prepared with that running game to do damage to Louisville's defense.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting game, and I don't know if the stat is right that MG of a Pine Frine, I guess I pronounced that right.
We appreciate that.
Well, we talked about Mario coming out of bye weeks, and if he's right, 9-2, that's a pretty good record coming out of bye weeks. So I'm expecting Miami to put a complete performance together this week. I think it's been a point of focus, point of emphasis, and with the bye week, and they should have a pretty good focus. And I'm expecting this to be Miami's most complete game this year. That's just my personal expectation. We'll see if it plays out that way.
What I'm hoping is we're able to continue, like we did those first 3 quarters against Florida State, play very good, solid defense, get after this guy. You're not going to have to worry about where he is and put so much pressure on him that he's just chucking it like he did against Virginia. And we're able to get some turnovers. And on the offensive side, take what they give us, lean on them a little bit, make them stress a little bit on offense where they have to try to take chances, run some reverses, run, the reverse pass, little trickery plays. But just drive it down their throats, run and pass, force them to take chances. And once they take chances, just crush their spirits. And I think all will be well.
All right, let's take this thing home tonight with a little word association, and right. I got to come back with the emotional side that we started the show with. And what do you think when somebody says Louisville?
First, when you say, I have to get my mouth right, Louisville.
Louisville.
That's the first thing I think, Louisville.
Well, you got defensive when I called it a town. You're like, it's not a town, it's a city. So you still got a little Louisville in your heart there.
I mean, it's they gave me an opportunity. I mean, I did really enjoy being there, other than I got a little burnt out of Coach Petrino, but it was a good city, man. The AD was great at the time. I was really upset 2 years ago when they came down here. I was upset. Oh boy, that hurt me. That one, they came down here and that hurt. But I think this is a whole different team, and I'm all in for my guys, man. We got to get this win, and you'll see me talking to Brom. You'll see me talking to Vince Morrow, who's over there from Kentucky. You'll see me talking to Big Pete. You'll see OP, he tall. You'll see me talking to their defensive coordinator. You'll see me talking to a lot of people, but in the back of my mind, I want to get this win. and I think we will happen. But I'm always had love for Louisville, man. They, you know, they were good. They were good to me.
Lamar Jackson.
And that's one of the reasons, LJ,
Yeah.
seeing what he was able to do there, believing in what I was speaking. Remember, that was back in the day before NIL, so I was able to recruit him with just my mouthpiece, as far as him trusting him and his mother trusting what I was saying about their future and what I saw in their future and what I thought that Coach Petrino and the University of Louisville could do for them, and it all came true. So yeah, I'm gonna always have some type of affinity for them. And I had to go to Kentucky and cheer against them. And it was all, and the Louisville fans was like, wait a minute, guy, you was just saying how much you loved us. And no, it was all crazy. But it is what it is. It's all in the coaching game, man. It changes just like, fans don't change, but coaches do. And so do kids nowadays. So you gotta get used to it.
In the crazy world of college football, he's now back as an interim head coach at the school where he had to leave, Bobby Petrino.
Well, he's somehow, let's see, I'm trying to maneuver this way to be the head coach. However it happened, he's back at Arkansas. He came back as a coordinator, and he was able to get that job. And they lost a tough one to Tennessee last week, but they're still, and I know it's important to him. I think they're ranked in the top 10, one of the top 10 offenses in the country. So I think he's trying to get that job to be, you talk about all these guys, you talk about the guy at SMU having an opportunity, you talk about the guy that last week at Florida State, Gus Malzahn, having an opportunity to maybe go to Arkansas. But Bobby is saying, hey, I want the last word on this. So the Arkansas fans, they love him, man. They love him. Hey, they feel like it wasn't their fault he fell off the motorcycle. It wasn't his fault he fell off the motorcycle. It wasn't the girl's fault he fell off the motorcycle. They've kind of forgotten about it. So, it's yet to be seen. But Arkansas is saying that they really are going to have a coaching search. So it's yet to be seen. I think if he's able to string together some wins, he gets that job.
All right, let's take it home with Mario Cristobal.
Hey, Mario, this is a big game now. This is, every game is a big game. This is a great test for our defense. I really believe not because of the quarterback being a runner or being that good. It's just this offense is going to test us. They're very smart. They're very, you rushing forward, they're going to call some screens. They're going to call some draws. They're going to do a lot of different things. Jeff Brown crossing routes, the fade, the back shoulders, the cover two, run in between the two safeties. They got a lot of stuff in their arsenal. I think it's going to be up to his coaches to continue to be able to change and adjust during the game and outthink them in the chess match, because they're trying to figure out what you're doing and they think they got you, they will have you. But if you keep it where you change it up a little bit every now and then, confuse them somewhat, you're going to confuse that quarterback, and all you need for that D-line to get there is half a second. It could be it could be a beautiful sight for Miami to put together 4 straight quarters of dominance. That's what I'm hoping.
That's what I want to see. I want to see 4 quarters Friday night. Let's do it. All right, LT, another great week. Lamar Thomas Show. We got to thank Vernon Carey for coming on as great guest. Always love talking to Vern. Got to thank CaneSport, man. CaneSport for being the presenting sponsor of the Lamar Thomas Show. You see some of the great merchandise and the photos behind Lamar and myself. We showed you the video earlier. Lamar's usually in the store, showing you some of the stuff off the racks, but he's in studio tonight. But make sure you go by CaneSport on your way to Pro Player Stadium on Friday night. Load up on some Canes gear. They're 2655 South University Drive in Davie. If you can't make it there in person, go to caneswear.com and you can buy just about anything you want hurricane related at CaneSport. So it's the Canes Louisville, 7 o'clock. On Friday night. Friday night. Don't forget, it's Friday night now.
Friday night.
LT, I know you'll be there. I'll see you there. Hope to see a bunch of our viewers out there as well. So for LT, I'm Gary. Thank you so much for watching the show tonight. We'll We'll see you next week, everybody.
Go Canes.